Hola todos, que tal today? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Day in the Life of Nima. Hope you guys are having a very great day. And today, where I'm from, it's raining a lot, and it's a bunch of thundering going outside in my window. But it's like really pretty just to see, Earth in a different face than it usually be in. So today, I'm talking about spiritual parasites. And I was just talking to somebody about that literally like yesterday. I didn't really think it was, you know, accurate. I was just talking to a person. I was like, do you think it could be such thing as spiritual parasites that gets transformed from one person to another, especially with all this stuff that goes on in the world? And literally about 5 minutes ago, I was reading, I think it's called like a shamanic article talking about spiritual parasites. And a spiritual parasite is an entity. I guess you would call it entity because it doesn't have a physical form. It needs a host that gets transformed from the predator to the prey, from a person that's abuser to the person that's, I guess you say, the victim. So usually how this happens is from physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, spiritual abuse, sexual abuse, and I'm pretty sure it's many more different varieties of abuse that happens in this world that I, may have not came across yet, or this just haven't been discovered yet. So have you ever heard the saying that if somebody gets abused, they become the aggressor, or they become self-destructive and continue in the same patterns because their mind, body, and soul has been abused for so long that they start to believe that that's the way they should live, and that's why they was created. And nobody deserves to get abused, and it's not anybody's fault. I know a bunch of people be like, well, maybe it's my fault because the person is abusing me, but at the end of the day, we all have the willpower, I guess you say, to make choices, whether it be good or bad, harmful intentions or non-harmful intentions. So at the end of the day, each person is responsible for themselves, and you really can't tweak with somebody's decision unless it's like you're threatening them. So usually for a certain time period, the person that's getting abused, they may not notice it, but not all the time. It's just in some cases they may take on personality traits from the person that's abusing them, and that's because it's that parasite. And I read like so much stuff on this parasite so far, and it was just like a small paragraph. That's the amazing thing. So after a certain time period, the person will start to feel themselves becoming more aggressive and angry. But that's normal, honestly. If you're getting abused, don't ever feel like your feelings are wrong, but they'll notice or start to feel like severely hostile to not like only the person that abused them, but other people around them that really didn't have anything to do with that situation. And on this article I read, the person can feel the parasite like jumping onto them or like leeching itself onto them to use them as a host, because if something doesn't have a body, it really can't be productive on this plane that we live on, because people have bodies. So if you don't have that, you really can't have access to what purpose that you're trying to fulfill, whether it be like evil or not. So the person literally feels the parasite jumping into their system, and I think it's said that it latches itself to the power source, which I wonder, would that be the spinal cord, considering like it's really long, and that's also a part, I believe, of a certain type of chakra. And also I was thinking about that, like the parasite possibly jumping onto the spinal cord, because I read another article. Is I think it's a certain chakra that's near a female's tailbone. And like, just say for instance, I know a lot of people, especially me, like it feels like near my tailbone, like lightning bolts. I don't know if that makes any type of sense, but I have talked to like a other bunch of young ladies, and they have said that as well. So honestly, I guess that'll be like one of the ways the parasites can attach themselves. Or also, I believe through the eye. You know how like, just say like you see like a sci-fi horror movie and somebody's getting taken over by this weird little trinket thing, and it usually goes in their eye, and then the person starts to act weird and stuff. And another reason why the parasite could also like attach itself into the eye, because if I remember right, the pineal gland is like somewhere right here. So I have the eye, then the pineal gland, so that wouldn't be hard to access at all. And I just really wanted to come on here and talk about this. I'm so nervous because I don't know if like the abuser realizes like what type of atmosphere it's, you know, the person's creating and stuff. And you honestly have to be careful still holding people for their like own actions, because it's actually things that are amongst people. I remember this older lady told me once that, you know, if you and a person are like having a conversation sometimes, and she said the keys, you know, I mean, excuse me, the eyes are the window to the soul, or the eyes are the key to the soul. And she told me to like to look. And honestly, I'm still fairly young, but I was really young then. And I remember I looked at that person, and it was like, it wasn't them. It was something that was like so enraged and just was just like angry for like no apparent reason. And then like after something looked like the person was snapped back and it was gone. And I was just like, you know, yo, this stuff is crazy. So I just wanted to tell you like to, you know, be aware, like, you know, stuff that may be amongst people, and to be careful, because stuff will try to attach itself to you and throw you off your spiritual path. Because I don't know if people realize we are in a very spiritual war. We may not be able to see it with the human naked eye, but it is around us 24/7. It's like a bunch of stuff in the atmosphere. Like a bunch of people have been saying like when they go outside and stuff, they feel, you know, so much negativity in the atmosphere, and it was like, I don't even want to go outside, man. Like, I just want to stay in my house. I mean, but of course you can't do that. You still have like, you know, earthly responsibilities to fulfill. But just, you know, try your hardest to stay on your spiritual path and be aware of people that have these things upon them, because they are very aggressive. And just be careful, and just try your hardest to do the best you can, because honestly, that's all you can do in this life. So this was your girl, Day in the Life of Nima. I hope you enjoyed this video about spiritual parasites, and I hope it was, you know, explanatory, and, you know, hopefully that you receive something from it and it helps you on your spiritual journey. Bye.